Member.
Thank you, Senator Chester. Senator Smith, I believe, is online from her office. She's recognized for 5 minutes.
Well, good morning, Mr. Chair, Ranking Member, and welcome and congratulations to all of our nominees today. I'm grateful for your willingness to serve our country. I am going to direct my questions today to Mr. Jemison. Thank you so much, sir, for the great conversation we had recently. And I just want to follow up on those conversations. So the first question is about life and safety and fire issues in public housing. As we discussed on Wednesday morning at 3:56 a.m. in November of 2019, one day before Thanksgiving, Minneapolis firefighters were dispatched to the Cedar High rise, which is a 49-year-old high-rise public housing building. And when they arrived, they found a fire on the 14th floor of that building. The firefighters went to work, they attacked the fire, and they called for backup, but tragically, 5 people were killed before firefighters were able to bring the fire under control. And according to the fire marshal, if the building had been equipped with fire sprinklers, which it was not, those deaths would not have occurred. So I am committed to making sure that this kind of tragedy does not happen again in public housing. HUD estimates that there are 185,000 high-rise public housing units in this country that don't have fire sprinklers. So, Mr. Jemison, if you are confirmed, what will you do to make sure that this kind of tragedy does not happen again? And where does this problem rank, the problem of sprinklers in buildings or lack of sprinklers in high-rise buildings? Where does it rank on your list of priorities to work on in public and Indian housing?
Senator, thank you for the chance to answer this question. And I enjoyed our conversation earlier this week. As I mentioned, one of the things I'm most focused and interested in is working on Indian housing matters. But first and foremost, we are part of a system of ownership and property management all around the country. So in that respect, we're supposed to provide safe, clean, and decent housing. Safe is the first part of that phrase. So making sure that life safety improvements are part of the number one priority in the capital rehabilitation of public housing. We share that passion together. It's got to be number one. Our housing authority leaders are faced often with more than one crisis that they have to address, but life safety has got to be the first one. So what I think you're going to see me focus on is highlighting the critical nature of these improvements, and then ideally, if there are additional resources available to the public housing system, it'll be faster, and we can even accomplish more above and beyond life safety if we have additional resources. So it's going to be my focus, like yours, on life safety improvements as part of the current capital allocations that our housing authorities receive.
Senator Brown and I and many of us on this committee are working hard to make sure that you do have additional resources so that people who are living in public housing have a decent place to live and a safe place to live. And putting fire sprinklers, in my mind, at the top of that list for life safety is urgently important so that the tragedy of what happened at the Cedar High apartments in Minneapolis isn't duplicated in the 185,000 units around the country that also don't have sprinkler systems. So it's crucially important to me. We just have a minute left, and I wanted to just maybe follow up a little bit on Senator Tester's question about the significant challenges of housing in Native communities. And you and I also had a chance to speak about this earlier this week. Could you just tell us a little bit more about how you would approach your leadership of the Office of Native American Programs at HUD and what you will do to familiarize yourselves with the unique housing challenges that Native communities face, especially on tribal land?
Thank you, Senator, for this question. So, as I mentioned when we talked about this, one of my first actions is going to be beginning to engage with through the nation-to-nation consultation process to get understanding of what, because again, each tribe is different and has different challenges. But one challenge I know that you and I have talked about, on which you're particularly focused, is the Section 184 loan guarantee program, and the hindrance, frankly, that's coming out of the administration of that program historically. I'm committed to help you with that, moving our agency and BIA together to more quickly clear title.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Smith. Senator Van Hollen.
Thank you.
5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Congratulations to all of you on your nominations. Mr. Colon, let me start with you. And the questions